All right, welcome back to the PSB Summer Invitational. We are bringing you the last championship webcast here of what's been a great weekend of basketball. I'm Marcus Burnett, joined by Jonathan Hemingway, and we've got the Northwest Blazers Orange taking on DFW Elite. That jumper off the mark. It's a 7-2 ball game here in favor of the Northwest Blazers. We've had great basketball this entire day, from the third place games up to the championships, and I think this one is going to definitely fit the bill as well, as we're already off to a great start.
Yeah, without a doubt, Marcus, we've said from the very beginning here of today, and a great jumper there by Michaela Ferenz from Walla Walla, Washington. This might be the most talented Peach State basketball event that we've been a part of. 88 teams, just been jam-packed with talent each and every day. And we're finishing with a good one right here. Steve Cleese and his Northwest Blazers Orange group right here. Very talented. They play together. May not have the high major names that we're accustomed to when it comes to DFW and such, but they play very high major basketball, very well together. They've got length, skill, and so forth, and we'll introduce those players to you as we come along. And we'll introduce one right to you. That's Sue Winger, 6'2" post player, has already given her verbal commitment to the Vandals of Idaho.
Gotcha. It's always nice to come across some unique mascot names for some of the respective colleges that these players have committed to. But I tell you what, Hemi, the Northwest Blazers program did not fly into Hartsfield Jackson to come into the Peach State and play games. They have really taken advantage of the stage. I mean, you want to compete, you want exposure in front of coaches, but nothing maximizes exposure like winning in this type of event.
I say it all the time. If you want to play in front of coaches, make sure that you move to the right on the bracket, and that you do that by winning, and you do that by competing. Regardless of your level, your talent, you always come out here to win the game.
They're up by 10 points here early on. Good ball movement. Nice recovery, though, by DFW Elite. Three-pointer on the way. Count it, number 11, Michaela Ferenz.
Ferenz also headed to Idaho, the Potato State, knocking down that jumper there. I really like Ferenz. I think she's got a world of potential. Handle it, length, great shooter too.
As this now a 13-point advantage for the Northwest Blazers. McElroy with it, gonna kick it over. Passing up on the three is Morris. Instead takes the fall away jumper, no good. Rebounded by Nunn. Here's Edwards. Nunn has that shot blocked. Good defense there by Sierra Johnson.
Well, let's don't count out DFW just quite yet. They've got a whole roster full of kids that are ranked in the top 100. And we mentioned McElroy. You saw Johnson there with the block. Eventually talent will catch up. But right now, the Blazers are showing that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, as they play very solid, good position defense, and they share the ball very well on offense.
And, beating a team as talented as a DFW Elite with, the athleticism and what they have at their disposal, it really requires a couple phases. It requires a good start, but you also have to be able to finish them and keep that cushion. Prime example was the Cincinnati Finest versus Central Florida Elite game that we just concluded. They had phase one taken care of, but phase two was a very tall task, and CFE was able to come away with the win in that game.
And what you see right now is DFW really just beating themselves. At least on offense, throwing the basketball away, making careless mistakes. But nevertheless, they've got to find a way to turn this around. They're coming out here with a little 1-2-2, three-quarters press. And one thing that we always talk about on the broadcast, Mark, is find ways to slow the game down. DFW right now wants the Blazers to play really fast, and for or for the Blazers to make quick decisions and force them into mistakes. Blazers just playing at their own pace, squaring up, finding the open player. Now eventually here, they do speed them up enough to force this turnover.
But the ball comes right back. We got a turnover there on behalf of DFW. Ferenz was fouled on the play, so it'll be Northwest Blazers ball along the sideline. Dorian Branch a little shaken up for DFW Elite. Says she's okay. They try to chop into this 13-point deficit that they face. That three-pointer's off the mark. Branch with the rebound. Ball last touched by Trinity Carter, so it'll go back to the Blazers. Back into the game for DFW, number 5, Calvion Landrum.
Landrum, an exceptionally talented prospect, ranked in the Elite 60, somewhere in the low 30s. She is nicknamed Juicy, and probably because of her game, because she's got a lot of juice.
Trying to let the juice loose here on this possession. She goes straight to the cup. She's going to be fouled on the play. I'll send her to the free throw line.
Anytime you get a wing player with her size, I mean, she's every bit of 5'10". Great feet, good downhill, can shoot the ball. Ultra talented kid. And a reason why those coaches on the back row have stuck around to watch this game.
Driving along the baseline, quick first step there and cashing in. Trinity Carter, 15-4 ball game. That type of explosion along the baseline shows you why this game is anything but over. Of course, there's plenty of time left, but despite the strong start by the Northwest Blazers, this is a DFW team that has plenty of firepower in the arsenal. They trail by 11. They can cut the deficit to single digits here.
Well, there's no doubt that there's individual talent out here on the court, as you see number 1, Taylor Pruitt, just a 2018 kid out there with the ball at the top of the key. Plenty of individual talent. The key for them is just going to be, you know, can they gel and mesh this together? And they will. It's, you know, happened before. As you see them making the extra pass, showing some patience right here. But that's a good offensive possession. Even though the shot didn't go, it's possessions like that that can help build some momentum.
Stifling the momentum, at least momentarily. That jumper knocked down there by number 4, Tristan Murphy. Little baby jumper there to push the lead back to 13.
Good
nice
pass.
Working hard, fouled on the inside there is Jordan Alexander. She'll get a trip to the free throw line here with 8:30 left to play here in the first half. 13-point advantage for the Blazers. In and out on the first free throw. Couple substitutions being made for both teams. Second free throw in and out. Another rebound inside for Jaza Nunn.
They got it with the backcourt violation there. The heel just stepped on the half line there.
Blame that on the design of that shoe, Hemi. The heel protrudes just a little bit on that Adidas shoe, man.
You're gonna blame it on Adidas, huh?
Is it the shoes?
Ask Derrick Rose. Man, I'm a Bulls fan, man. I don't even like saying that.
Good franchise to be a fan for. You know, with us both having our Midwest roots, I grew up on the Indiana side, but 30 minutes from Chicago. Definitely rooted for the Bulls growing up myself. Meanwhile, Sue Winger is here making things happen. Another bucket for her here in the first half for the Blazers, as it's now a 15-point advantage. Jordan Edwards going to try a three-pointer. No good, but she's got a follow-up in the form of Sierra Johnson. Johnson tries to save it, but she's out of bounds in her attempt to do so. $7:30 left to play here in the first half. 15-point advantage for the Blazers exposure.
Now, one thing that you've got to say, about Peach State basketball events, the matchups that you get at these tournaments are just phenomenal. DFW is going to be playing, at Nike Nationals here in a couple of days. Nike team, EYBL, everybody knows about that. And here you are, the Northwest Blazers, flying clear across the country to get a quality matchup like this in a championship game. You just don't get that, at every tournament.
Yeah.
And, a team, whether it's Nike, Adidas, whatever the case may be, Peach State basketball, Brandon Clay is really the guy that you can attribute most of this is the fact that, he sets these things in course and they happen and everybody gets the exposure and the bump that they want.
Plenty of bump to go around here at this event, and the Blazers have maximized that up to this point. In a good position here, but still plenty of game left. They lead by 15. They go inside to Winger. Nunn.
Wow.
Catches it high, keeps it high, splashes to Jay.
A little flex offense right there. And what I loved about that was they ran it through once, and then on the weak side, the wing read the screen. They read that the defense was cheating. She flared out. The defense recovered, then skipped it right back to where it came. And then Winger hitting the jumper, showing that she can do it inside and outside.
That was Nunn on the jumper, but
excuse me,
it's easy to get it mixed up for Winger because she stepped out and knocked something down as well. The big shooting the ball well for the Blazers overall, and that's been something that we've kind of seen as a common thread with a few of their teams here this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. They have kids that not only have size, length, can rebound, but also can step away and shoot the basketball. Nunn, as a kid, I was talking to Coach Cleese before the game here today. Uncommitted kid, but plenty of interest, all along the West Coast. Coming out here to the East Coast, who knows? She might be able to double those offers, hitting jumpers like that.
Her most recent one makes it a 17-point advantage. Ferenz in trouble in the corner. It's taken away by DFW Elite. Strong takes it direct there by Alexis Morris. He's going to be fouled, and the Legacy Christian Academy attendee will go to the line to shoot two.
Alexis Morris already in our Elite 25 in the class of 2017. You can see a very talented kid, very fast, quick with the ball. Stephen Peck wrote about her in our Day 2 recap. Actually, this morning, you'll be able to read about her on prospectsnation.com probably this evening. But Morris, they're going to need somebody to give them some life if they're going to want to get back into this game. Morris could be the conduit for that.
The Blazers were thinking about working the high-low, but instead, Labish is going to take it. That's swatted out of bounds by Johnson.
Sierra Johnson also in our Elite 60, as ranked by ProspectsNation.com. 6'4", you see the wide shoulders, the good frame, the good feet, runs the court well. The ability to affect the game down around the bucket. There's a reason why she's an elite prospect.
Michaela Ferenz with it up top. She's going to get it over to Labish.
Here comes the flex. Cross screen, down screen.
You Got to respect the shots of these Northwest Blazer players as we see Brand Kanishka knock that down, and they're running the closeout. Meanwhile, they're using that to be aggressive on the catch and knock down the mid-range J.
Kanishka already given her verbal commitment to Fresno State University. Like I said, these Blazers are talented. They're skilled. They play very well together. And they just don't give up as you see them fighting for this offensive rebound here.
As they're up by 19, Kennedy Carter has to chase that one down. And have a foul against the Blazers. It's going to go against Jordan Edwards.
You know, I'm looking at the DFW players and I'm looking at their eyes, and they looked a little bit shell-shocked right now. You know, they came out and before we could even get on the mic, Marcus, it was 13-4. And they're like, okay, we got off to a slow start. Let's get it back. And now they've tried to press a little bit.
Yeah.
And now shots like that just aren't going in. Loose balls aren't falling their way. So now they're thinking, boy, what is going on here?
Yeah. Trying to push it. Nice finish right there, number 3, Alexis Morris.
What I like about that is she spaced it out to make it a 2-on-1. She got outside, out there in the lane to where the defense was going to have to make a choice. Instead of running straight down the middle of the court, they're coming down the other direction. They are working this flex offense to death. The simple pop-out cross screen down there. If you don't give help on that cross screen, you're vulnerable to give up a layup every time.
Foul going to go against Kanishka there.
Now, Marcus, I used to make fun of the flex offense. I thought that it was corny, it was out of date, you know, circa 1966 or something like that. But let me tell you something. Sometimes the most simple of things can be the best of things. When you run it to perfection like the Blazers are here today, and in fact, many NBA teams even today, they'll go flex into some sort of high ball screen stuff. So again, even if it's old, doesn't mean that it can't be good.
Very true. 25-7 ball game in favor of the Blazers. Ferenz with it. Gets it over to Adams. Move. 3:20 left to play here in the first half.
Ooh.
Kanishka with the nifty move inside.
Boy, I call that body control and just great court awareness right there. And going to show you, Kanishka is not the quickest kid out here, as evidenced by all these DFW players. Alexis Morris, however, is one of the quickest out here. But the finish I thought about Kanishka just goes to show you don't have to be the quickest in order to make plays. You can use other players' momentum against them to be able to make shots like that. Now, it helps to be explosive like Morris is, and that's why she's in the Elite 25, because she can do both. She's got that explosion downhill and the ability to change, hesitate, and then get to where she wants to go.
Most definitely. She's just having to expend so much energy just to be able to get the opportunity she's been able to get, but still has plenty left in the tank as she steps back and knocks down a 3. It's DFW trying to put some pieces together. They pull it to within 15.
Well, I went out on a limb and I said Morris might be the conduit right here. And sure enough, 2 transition buckets later and now a 3-pointer. She's got her team in double digits, but still a 15-point lead for the Blazers. And the Blazers show no signs of letting up anytime soon.
You said the same thing about Janisha McKay of Central Florida Elite as far as a spark plug. And we saw how that turned out. Never faced as large of a deficit as what DFW Elite is facing right now, but still plenty of firepower, still plenty of time left.
Nice
Ferenz.
pass.
Shot short, rebound inside. Nunn.
Coach Cleese told me that Nunn is a very talented player, could even get some higher looks, and she has a good weekend, showing there, cleaning up that offensive glass. Battling down right here with Sierra Johnson.
Minute 49 left to play here in the first half. Turning the corner. Nice take right there. Won't stay down for Landrum. Feren's going to kick it out. That two's on the way. No good. Ball last touch by Alexis Morris. So it'll stay with the Blazers.
Been a tough half for Landrum. You can see her natural ability, but she's just had some shots just rim in and out. And, you know, if I'm DFW right now, minute and a half left, you got to be thinking, okay, how can we cut into this lead, you know, before halftime? You know, we're down 17. Can we make this a 13-point deficit going into half? Can we make it a 12-point half? There's something very, you know, very different about, you know, 17 versus, you know, a 10-point lead.
Yeah.
You know, those small victories right now are what you need to propel you into the second half.
And just has to take its toll. And, you know, we'll see, you know, even though DFW has a deep bench, has to take its toll when you have to work this hard in the first half just to stay within 17.
Right. And it's not as if the Blazers have a thin bench.
Exactly.
Either. I mean, they go, you know, every bit of 10 deep as well too, you know, one at every position. So you're not going to wear them out, and you're not going to be able to deliver a knockout blow, you know, down 17. It's going to have to be a series of, if you want to use the boxing analogies, a series of body punches, small chipping away.
Nice block there, partially blocked. Zariel Green. She's got the ball now. She's going to pull a deep two. Off the mark on that one. Strong rebound. Put back attempt no good by McElroy. And here come the Blazers the other way. Under the 1 minute mark here in the first half. Still a 17-point advantage. Ferenz has it. Sit over to Leibish. Nunn the winger. Shot won't go. DFW can try to end the first half on a positive note. Baseline drive results in a trip to the free throw line here. Number 21, McElroy.
Let me tell you something. If there's one player on this court I do not want to play against, it's a McElroy. This kid plays hard, as you saw the ball pressure in the backcourt. You know, earlier she gets into you, she hounds you, she's going to play physical with you. We had the chance to work with McElroy up close and personal at EBA Super 64 camp out on the West Coast in Phoenix. That was back in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Her and Joyner Holmes and Kiana Ray and Michaela Christian, a lot of those kids were out there. It was a great camp. And I came away from that camp thinking that McElroy was going to be a kid for the future.
As we see her drop the dime there. And it's turned in by Dorian Branch as they pull it to within 14. Nearly a back tap there. Instead, Ferenz has it. She's got 4 seconds to work with. Edwards can't get it to go, and that's going to do it for the first half. 14-point advantage for the Blazers. A little bit of daylight being seen by DFW. We'll see what happens in the second half. We'll be back shortly. All right, we're ready to get the second half rolling, the last half of basketball here from the 2014 PSB Summer Invitational. DFW ended the first half on a positive note, being able to pull it within 14 after 17 was the deficit. But again, we see Jayza, you don't want none, getting another bucket here for the Blazers.
None giving you plenty right here with the jumper. Having a big day, but it was Michaela Ferenz that had the assist. She finished the first half with 11.
Trying to get another assist, and she kicks that one over to Edwards. Pushes the advantage back to 19.
And that's not the type of start that you wanted if you were DFW, although Morris answers right back with that jumper. After you ended on a positive note, you give up back-to-back jumpers, and the lead is right back close to 20.
Tough way to open the second half of your DFW elite. The Blazers have made them work for everything, play extra hard just to stay within a manageable deficit. And they start the second half off like they did, but DFW gets the possession back here, trailing by 17 after that nice Alexis Morris jumper on the last possession. Morris gets to the cup, just leaves that one short. Here's Ferenz. Edwards picks it up. Ferenz doesn't take her long to get that shot off. No good. Rebound by McElroy. Just under the 14-minute mark. Still a 17-point advantage for the Blazers. Tell you what, Ferenz is real slow and steady bringing the ball up the court. We've seen McElroy on her. We've seen Morris on her. We've seen all of these quick guards for DFW. I don't believe we've seen her be stripped or rushed or turn the ball over just yet.
You know, I think the term is body control. What I like about Ferenz is that she never exposes the basketball.
Yeah.
You know, you put that ball out in front against a quick player like McElroy or Morris, that thing's getting stolen.
Yeah.
But instead, you know, you come up, you attack, you know, now you turn your body, now you're crossing over between your legs, behind the back, spin move. It's one of the things that our former lead trainer, Sean Stick Smith, one of the things that he taught me about guard play at one of our camps. He's now an assistant coach at Maine University. But Ferenz excels at that, and that's one of the reasons why she's able to do such a great job of handling.
That jumper's off the mark. McElroy trying to put the move on. Gets the roll. DFW pulls to within 15. Edwards handling. Kicks it out to Ferenz. Ferenz to none. McElroy says no, sir. Here's Carter. McElroy just made a big block on one end.
You got to be frustrated right there. You get the driving kick. Don't drive the ball back to the baseline where your teammate was. Simple spacing, understanding right there. Drive that thing to the elbow. Got to learn from that.
And Dorian Branch knew it as soon as she did it, Hemi.
Yeah. McElroy did have a good sequence right there of a score on one end, a block on the other end. And now the Blazers going to try to extend this lead out here with this foul.
They had a chance earlier in that possession to kind of get the ball over to McElroy. Kind of hit her in stride, really take advantage of the play she was able to make on the defensive end. She wanted it. Instead, they waited until she got the ball in a position where she could do nothing with two heels on the out of bounds line.
Nice looking free throw stroke by Nunn. Not every day that you see a big body like that can shoot it like that.
Nunn's having a great game, gets another rebound there. A little out of control on the shot there was Carter. Here's Ferenz. Nice pass inside, and we're going to have a foul against Branch. Michaela Ferenz getting it done. Good on the first free throw, Emily Drake. Back into the game for the Blazers, number 4, Tristan Murphy. No good on the second free throw. 17-point advantage for the Blazers. McElroy with the take. No good on the shot. Here's Kanishka. Nice defense by Carter. That's got to be 5 seconds, and it is. This is not an easy Blazers team or an easy Blazers program to get a 5-second violation against.
Good defense there. And like we talked about in the first half, you got to find ways to slowly chip into this lead. One good play at a time. Take that good play and convert that into a positive play on the offensive end.
Just 11 minutes, 49 seconds left to play in this one. Still a 17-point advantage. DFW will have the ball out of the timeout after forcing the 5-second violation. Ready to resume play from the timeout. Here's Carter. McElroy to Branch. Branch is tripped up on that play. McElroy to inbound. Wants it on the block. Just short. Kanishka has it stripped away. Here's Carter. That ball last touched by Tristan Murphy of the Blazers. Branch with the assist. Athletic finish inside by Kennedy Carter. Pulls them to within 15. That's been the closest they've been able to get him. That 14 to 15-point mark as Ferenz tries to drop that one off. It's knocked out of bounds. Jayza Nunn, number 25, checking back into the game for the Blazers. And getting a trip to the free throw line without even being in the game for 5 seconds.
Good things that just seem to follow Nunn around here for the better part of this game.
For those that might just be joining us, Hemi, break down the key elements on why Nunn has been so effective, key parts of her game.
She has size, she has skill, and I think you've got to give a lot of credit to her teammates for setting her up, for those plays.
Yeah.
To penetrate, draw the help, kick it to her, and then she's just been able to finish those plays. But you got to give her credit for being in the right position. She's cleaned up the weak side glass, really just played her role in that way. Ferenz and and some of the other guards have done a good job of facilitating the action and making sure that she gets those looks.
That three-pointer wouldn't stay down. Good hustle on the offensive rebound by Pruitt. Two tries at it there on that possession for Najala Howe. It'll go out of bounds off DFW. The Blazers have it. Winger gets it over to Edwards. Nice defense there by Branch. She pokes it up, gets it, layup drill on the other end.
Well, you see what DFW is trying to do, trying to speed this game up once again. To this point, they have not been successful.
But the past couple possessions, they have been. But it's going to take a lot more to be able to get past this 14-point deficit mark, which they've reached a couple times. And each time the Blazers have responded and pushed it out further.
Well, you notice here that this run, this semi-run, if you want to call it that, Ferenz on the bench, they're having to go with their secondary ball handlers. It'll be interesting to see if their backup point guards and guards can handle the pressure, or if Ferenz has got to come back in. But I think we're getting our answer sooner than later, as a Fresno State commit, Kanishka, drains that three-point shot.
Trying to answer right back there is Howe. She misses, but Branch is going to be fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot two.
Game far from being over, but we're starting to get into that area of where it's not necessarily desperation mode quite yet, but if you don't start to make a run soon, you know, then you're going to get into the 5-6 minute mark, and then it could be desperation time. But I think DFW needs to heat this tempo up, start running and jumping, see what the Blazers can handle.
Stabilizer, number 11, Michaela Ferenz, back into the game for the Blazers. She's got the ball, and DFW getting some good rest for Alexis Morris right now. If they can get this back to the low teens, possibly even 10 points, you could have a fresh Morris coming into the game. That'll be a good scenario for DFW Elite. Edwards just pokes that ball away over to Winger. Winger's off the mark, splitting through, pushing it. Landrum drops it off to Branch. Branch with the layup. They pull it to within 14 again. Edwards gonna stop and pop. No good on the shot. Ferenz gonna cash it.
Oh. They answer every run or every play with a play of their own. Impressive outing here by the Blazers.
I'm not even playing Himby, and that shot hurt me a little bit. They're playing defense. They're trying to get back into it. They're within 14. The shots miss, and before they can even calculate the offensive rebound, Ferenz is knocking down a three-pointer. Nunn's inside.
Wow. And going against a premier shot blocker in the class of 2016. Just a little hesitation, a little head fake, and she's able to score it.
We can see Ferenz get the block. Lead back to 19 for the Blazers. That pass intended for Nunn is poked away, but right out to Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, plays like that, the Blazers have been winning all game. The ball's just been bouncing the right direction.
Ferenz gets it over to Nunn. Nunn has that shot blocked there by Johnson. Here's Landrum. The spin move, no good on the shot. Ferenz gonna split through two defenders, kick it to Nunn. Nunn.
Wow.
Who's that peeping in my window? Jayza Nunn kisses it off the glass to make it 26-47. That shot off the window pane Makes it a 21-point advantage.
Ferenz setting her up. I mean, this is the Blazers' day. This might be the Blazers' tournament. Forget about day, forget about all that other stuff. The Blazers have dominated up until this point, and seems like that they are well on their way to dominating this bracket.
I mean, they're just responding whenever they need to respond. The magic number has just been 14 points. You know, that's the lowest that DFW has been able to get it to, and once it hits that 14-point mark, the Blazers just do whatever it takes to have a run to put it further away. Usually they push it back up to 17, 19 points. Now it's a 21-point advantage with 6:45 and counting left to play here in the second half. McElroy. Instant offense there out of the timeout. Pulls them to within 19. Turnover. DFW Elite still a resilient bunch.
Well, I told you I looked in their eyes in the first half and I saw a little bit of shell shock. Now what I see in the second half is really resiliency and determination. You know, they're not giving up. They're going to keep playing hard.
Morris is going to be pushed on that rebound attempt, so it'll stay with DFW. Morris was able to get a good 7 to 8 minute stretch where she was able to get some rest. We'll see if her fresh legs could be a catalyst of sorts here in this final 6 minutes as DFW Elite tries to pull this comeback off. Tough shot by Carter. Good positioning there by Ferenz with the rebound.
What an advantage it is to have your point guard be able to rebound a defensive board, pitch ahead in transition, and then come right back up and facilitate the offense. That's what you get in Ferenz.
Nishka back out top to Ferenz. Now here's Murphy. Murphy goes inside.
Now, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Henry.
I'm sorry. Just going to say, I really like the flow that they had in that offense, that offensive possession. Just kept running, passing, cutting, not a lot of dribbling, meeting passes, pivoting, ball security. If you want a clinic on what it looks like to handle the basketball, surely, just study this film of the Northwest Blazers.
We talked about textbook. Hemi in a couple of our broadcasts as we see a shot knocked down by Zariel Green. Textbook can definitely be used to describe the Blazers' performance up to this point. Turnover there, pass a little bit too tall for Murphy. Ball back over to DFW. McElroy can't get that three-pointer to go. Good hustle by DFW to get another opportunity. Here's Morris up top. Back to Green. Moore is going to try a three-pointer. Shot off the mark. Another rebound by Ferenz.
Great defense there by the Blazers. Really just played the position, played the lanes. They get a defensive rebound and turn it right into a fast break layup. And now the old cliche that sportscasters always like to say, now DFW's biggest enemy is the clock. But I'm not even sure about that. The way the Blazers are playing, there's no letting up with them.
None whatsoever, and the flow of the game would definitely indicate that. As they started off leading early, Since then, the lowest the deficit has got has been 14 points. Morris over to Green. McElroy fouled on the play. She'll shoot 2. Count the first.
Marcus, you talk about differing styles of play. I don't want to take anything away from DFW and the team that they got, because they're obviously very talented and certainly did their best while the game's not over. Did their best to try to play this game together, but on this day, at least this far, the Northwest Blazers really a true testament to team basketball and playing together. Because I can't say that at any one position that they have a player that is more talented, than a DFW player, which just goes to show you that if you buy into a system, then on any given day you can beat anybody.
McElroy still fighting. Gets that bucket to go to pull them to within 16. Now they get a steal. Here's Carter. Carter back to McElroy. Drops it off. Morris with the layup. DFW pulls to within 15. Winger over to Ferenz. Ferenz going to try the deep range 3.
Whoa. It's the Northwest Blazers tournament. You might as well call this the NW Blazers Invitational.
That's pretty much what it was, Hemi.
We saw them get a victory earlier today. Their black team defeated, who was that, Marcus?
EOTO Black.
EOTO Black.
And again, we've seen good, disciplined teams, whether, EOTO, of course, their style is different from a DFW elite, but we've seen good teams really play games against them to where they are competing hard just to stay within 14 to 15 points, let alone be able to get and keep a lead. Way to shield the defender off. Easy money inside there for Chastity. Sorry, no, that was Tristan Murphy. Number 4 for the Blazers. Nice seal off and bucket there inside. Lead back to 19, minute 40 left to play in the game.
Just been a clinic of how to pass the basketball, not get sped up, make open shots. I've got to give DFW, credit for playing hard, even to the final buzzer. These are kids that, certainly never did give up, but today, this afternoon, just wasn't their day.
It wasn't, and we talked about the phases of being able to beat a team as talented as DFW Elite. Good start, but being able to expand the cushion to where you factor in their ability and the runs that they'll go on throughout the course of a game. And the Blazers have been a prime example, even with the runs that DFW has made. Those runs have been used to cut a 19-point lead down to 14 and then go right back up to 19 or 20 points, as the Blazers have done all game.
And the Blazers have never gone into just protect mode. They've been in attack mode the entire time. If they get an open shot, they're shooting it, not playing scared. As Juicy gets that three-pointer to go. Just an overall very impressive weekend for the Northwest Blazers.
We're under the 30-second mark. Continuing to work the offense with precision. It's now a 20-point advantage. Appreciate you joining us here for the PSB Summer Invitational. Atlanta has been very good to the Northwest Blazers program as they take home another championship. I'm Marcus Burnett. He's J.L. Hemingway. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you back here next time.